As Black History Month continues, we are honoring the life and legacies of those who have made a difference right here in our community. A new documentary showcasing the life and work of longtime Atlanta City Council member Marvin Arrington Sr. Take a look.
He built one of the largest African-American firms here in the United States, and nobody gave him anything. He built it from scratch.
At that time, there were no black law school students at Emory University.
Just think about the courage that it took to walk into a place where there had never been one like you, and knowing the result.
All right, there's just a little sneak peek. So Bowlegs takes viewers on a journey of one of Atlanta's most transformative icons. And joining us now to talk more about this, we have current City Council member Marvin Arrington Jr. and writer and director of Bowlegs, Adeline Gasana. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Goodness, yes. I learned so much just through doing some of the research and just, talking about a true trailblazer and a true icon. Marvin, let's start with you. Just tell us, I know there's quite a long list of things that your father has done and what he's accomplished for our city, but my, oh my, he really incredible.
Well, he's done a lot for the city. He contributed. He was first elected in 1968 to the Board of Aldermen and served for 28 years through 1997, 16 of those years as the City Council president. And so he has made many contributions from saving the Atlanta Zoo to helping with the Olympics, getting Muhammad Ali back in the ring, and helping with the construction of the airport. And so just very proud of what he has done and all that he was able to accomplish, and certainly just wanted to be able to share that story. But we couldn't tell his story without also telling the history of Atlanta.
Yeah, and so much. As you talk about just some of the most prominent things, Muhammad Ali, the Olympics, just the transportation, MARTA, the airport. So talk a little bit about how this project came to be and how you got involved in it.
Well, I was recruited. Marvin Arrington Jr., the commissioner, he recruited me. I worked on the Maynard Jackson documentary as an archival researcher, and he needed a document done on his father. I was a little hesitant at first, didn't know too much about his father, partly because Maynard Jackson is the stalwart, is the one we know.
Right.
And so he kind of brought me in, and I said, let me dig a little bit. And so I kind of perused all of Atlanta, went to Atlanta History Center, went to the Woodruff Library, went to the UGA archives for the media archives, and I was blown away. Lo and behold, it was so much on his dad. I remember to tell a story of 4 decades kind of compacted in 2 hours was the biggest lift of it all, and that's what was part of the challenge. But as the commissioner said, you cannot tell, no other story in Atlanta parallels so harmoniously to the growth and transformation of Atlanta from this provincial town of the Deep South segregated to the international city that it is today.
Yeah, really just so impressive. And obviously this is what's so impressive about this as well, is that this film has already received some honors, right? So talk about that, one here locally as well. So talk about just some of the accolades that have already been given.
Yes, we were blessed. We made it to 6 film festivals, the majority here in Georgia, 3 of them which we won an award in. And we were honored to be on Delta's In-Flight Entertainment for a 6-month run.
Yes.
And that really elevated the status of the documentary and more what we did with it.
And I imagine that if you watch this and you're from Atlanta or you're familiar with some of the local leaders, we have some pretty prominent figures that are in this talking about your father. Can you kind of mention that just to give us a little preview of who we can expect, some familiar faces, right?
Yes, definitely. Mayor Shirley Franklin, Mayor Kasim Reed, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, Mayor Andre Dickens, former City Council President Felicia Moore, and others. Obviously, we saw Governor Barnes in the clip that you played earlier. And so there's a long list of people that he worked with and touched and that respect him and wanted to share their part of his story.
And what's the backstory of Bowlegs? Can you explain that for some of our viewers? I'm just curious.
So that is his nickname. He was always known as Bowleg. He had extremely bow legs growing up. And so he was always known as Bow Legs throughout high school, college, and beyond.
Lifelong. It's a term of endearment at this point. Yes.
So if I see him, I can just give him a little elbow and say, "Hey, Bow Legs."
Yeah, he's actually called by that.
That's so.
Ready to his
wow.
friends and his colleagues and his close friends call him Marvin Arrington. They call him, "Hey, Bow Legs."
That's so funny, and I love that you're wearing. We have to mention that your bow tie is from your father, right?
Yes, it is a family tradition, and so glad to get that from him. He just turned 82 on Friday, and so
my goodness. Happy birthday
glad that he is still with us, and he is still alive and kicking and talking stuff still.
And I'd like to add that point of him being alive. You know, most time for Black History Month, whenever we talk about these documentaries, particularly biographical pieces of impactful leaders, it's usually after the fact.
Right.
It's when they're long gone.
Yeah.
And so to do this documentary where he can see it, he can evaluate it, it's like giving his flowers while they're still with us. And that's one of the more rewarding things for this documentary is that how timely this was completed.
That's a good point, and so well deserved. So a story that really deserves to be told when you talk about where Atlanta is today. So thank you both for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
And of course, you at home can watch the documentary Bow Legs on several streaming services, including Apple TV and Amazon Prime right now.